Hello, everybody. How's it going? This is Azren, the language nerd here. I'm the owner of the Calgary Language Nerds. My team and I, we teach a wide variety of different languages to people of all ages and all degrees of fluency. And welcome to this video on how to learn another language. We're currently in the middle of level 4. I know it's been a few weeks, actually more than a few weeks, I think 4 weeks since I've added to this course. So if you're following this sequentially and you're following this as I'm posting the videos, I apologize for the delay. I've been quite busy for the past month or so, probably equally busy as usual, but I've had more stuff come on my plate, so I had to prioritize, and certain things have not gotten the attention that I would have liked to have given them. So for example, this course, I haven't been able to give it the time that I wanted to previously, but I've taken a few weeks off in the month of August here, so I can focus on the things that I want to get done that I haven't gotten done over the past month. So I'm going to record a few videos in the course today, not just one. And without further ado, let's get started. I'll share my screen here as always. We're going to go directly from the Google Slides presentation today. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let me just double check that you can. I think you guys are able to see my screen. Let me actually share this slightly differently. I'm not sure if you guys could see that. Hopefully you could. Let's see here. Share. Let's close that. Close that. Open this. Whoopsies. And we'll share like this. There we go. Now I'm 100% sure you guys can actually see my screen. Cool. So we're going to wrap up the tourism section of level 4 today. And we're going to do that by first talking about visiting the doctor. As always, we have the vocabulary practice. So you're going to book a lesson with your tutor or speaking partner and label the pictures below in your target language. You may also use a dictionary or an online translator. Of course, just make sure you verify with a native speaker or advanced speaker that you found the right translations. So the words we have here are sick, cold, cold as in not temperature cold, but cold as in you have a cold, fever, flu, upset stomach, the verb to vomit, headache, blah, blah, blah hurts. So your leg hurts, your back hurts, something hurts, runny nose, diarrhea, tired, symptom, dizzy, loss of appetite, swollen, itchy or irritated, painkiller, medicine, prescription, antibiotics, and that's basically the vocabulary. It's pretty important when you are traveling to be at least semi-prepared to talk about going to the doctor and being used to those conversations, because ultimately, hopefully you never have to go to the doctor and hopefully nothing goes wrong, but sometimes things do, and then you definitely want to know those words. I know someone who's in Mexico and then he had to get dental surgery while he's there. That was not planned. And he didn't know he speaks Spanish, this guy I'm thinking of, but he didn't know anything. He speaks like a tourist Spanish. He speaks enough to get by when he's in Mexico and things like that, but he does not know any kind of medical words. And so it was very difficult when he went to the dentist to get the surgery done, communicate with the dentist, things of that nature. I've also had experiences like that where I'm in a country and I don't really know the words and phrases and such that I would need to go to the doctor. And yet I had to go to the doctor. So this is an important thing to know for tourism purposes. So for the writing practice, what we're going to do here is you're going to label some body parts. So you'll find a picture online and label all the body parts as this photo here, right? I'm going to do a demonstration of how you'd find a picture like this. So I'll do that in like 10 seconds. As a bonus, if you want some bonus points, learn the head and shoulders song in your target language if your language has one. Maybe you can even make one up. You know the song like head and shoulders, knees and toes, that song? Like learn that song in your target language, should it exist. Now, how do you find a picture to label off? Let me show you. So what you do, it's pretty straightforward. You go to Google. Let me share my screen here. Dun, 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 dun. Go to Google and you simply search something to the effect of diagram of the body label. Right, and then you just go images, ta-da, you're going to find all sorts. Some of them are already labeled, but many of them are going to be not labeled, such as this one, right? Something like that, and you will find lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of different pictures. If you don't find that many, you can try a different search query, like label body parts. There we go. Boom. Look at how many we get. My body. This one. Here we go. Here's one right here. We have one right here. There's so many different pictures, right? You'll find thousands of them. So you get one of those pictures, print it out, and off you go. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Is that a thing? Easy peasy lemon squeezy? Not sure if that's a real thing. I think it's a thing. Okay, let me share my screen again. So that's going to be your writing practice. Your speaking practice, I've given you a role play. So you're going to book a time with your tutor or speaking partner and role play the following scenario. You are at the doctor's office because you're sick. Respond to these questions or commands. Your tutor or language partner will play the role of the doctor. You will play the role of the patient. How can I help you today? What's the matter? Let me take your blood pressure. Lie down, please. Take a deep breath. Does this hurt? You know, sometimes the doctor pushes on a body part and asks you if it hurt. Open your mouth, please. What other symptoms do you have? When did your symptoms start? What have you eaten or drunk in the past 24 hours? Others, feel free to think through others that might be important that are not on this list, but these are some common ones that I could think of when I was trying to think of what the doctor might ask you. Given a video practice here, so watch some videos about going to the doctor in your target language. You might watch videos that give you advice on how to prepare for your appointment, role play videos, or whatever else you're able to find. It's going to be different for every language. It'll be different depending on your search queries. I'm going to do a little demonstration of how you might find some videos. I'll do that in a second. Something else you might choose to do, this is optional, but it might be useful for you, is you may choose to watch a TV show that takes place in a hospital. So in English, we have things like ER, if that still exists. We had Scrubs. There's a few different shows where they actually take place in a hospital. So it's a good way to, practice your listening comprehension and familiarize yourself with some medical vocabulary. So let me do a quick demonstration here on how you would find some videos like this that you would need. So let's share my screen one more time. So what you do is you go into YouTube, right? It's our favorite, one of our favorite language learning tools. Go into YouTube and you search something like, let's say it's in English. You might do advice for going to the doctor. And you'll find lots of videos on that topic, right? Advice for new doctors. Let's see here. Even here, we've been going to the doctor, daily English conversations. You might even use that. Let's see here. The doctor's advice for going, that's not what we want. We want, hang on, advice for doctor visits. Here we go. What advice can you give me if I regular doctor visit? Something like this. Here's a minute 42, right? 7 minutes, tips for better doctor's visits. Oh, it's actually 47 minutes, not 7 minutes, but that's okay. Something like this, or you might search something like, let me have a quick peek here. You might search something like, let's see here. You might do at the doctor role play. Okay, these are ASMRs. Let's do ESL, because obviously these are not the videos we want. We don't want an ASMR. That's not what we're looking for here, right? We're looking for probably an ESL sort of video or language learning. Here we go, at the doctor's. Here's going to the doctor role play, at the doctor's English conversation. So you have to play around with some of the search queries to find videos. And of course, you do this you have to search in your target language. So if you're learning French, search in French. Learning English, search in English. Learning Spanish, search in Spanish. Sometimes maybe you can add a language, like learn French. You might find something if it's a widely spoken language. So you might find some videos 21. Even that's not quite right. You want an actual real. You could find a video designed for language learners, such as this first one here. But maybe a role play like this is not bad. But you do want something that oh, this is pretty good. Look at this. French dialogues for beginners. Doctor, patient, DELF, A1, A2, production orale. This would be pretty cool. pretty cool to watch, actually. So yeah, that's the kind of videos you're looking for. Let's go back to my document here. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen again. All right. So that's your video, that's your listening practice. Reading practice is the exact same thing, but you're gonna do this for blogs. So what we just did on YouTube, we search like advice for going to the doctor, we search role plays. You're gonna do the same thing, except you're gonna search that into Google, and you're looking for blog posts or articles. And you're gonna read 3 or more blog posts or articles on this topic. Do I need to do a video demonstration? I think that's pretty clear. I don't think I need to do a video demonstration. You literally go into Google, search in your target language, advice for preparing for my doctor's appointment, but do it in your target language, of course. Of course, you might have to speak to your language partner or your tutor to get some help. Like, how would I say something like that? You might have to do that. And then you're going to read some articles and speak with your tutor, speak with your language partner. If there's things in the articles you don't understand, if the blog posts are a bit difficult, like you might need to do it with help. You might not be able to do it completely by yourself, possibly. Oh, I have a small mistake in here, I think. Oh no, there's 2 reading practices. There we go. There's 2 reading practices, yes. So this is important, right? When you go to a doctor's office, you often have to fill out a patient intake form. So a patient intake form is basically where it's like the sign-in form at the doctor's. You fill out your name, your insurance information, your symptoms, or whatever's going on. They ask you a bunch of questions about your medical history. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a patient intake form online in your target language. Read it and try filling it out as if you were a patient. If you can't find, so when I was doing some prep for this course, for certain languages, I couldn't find patient intake forms. Sometimes it's difficult to find one in the target language, in which case you're going to pull up an English patient intake form, because there's lots of those, and translate it into the target language. So this one I'm going to do a demonstration of, because otherwise you might not know how to do it. So let me share my screen here one more time. Okay, here we go. So go to Google, you search patient intake form doctor, go to images, and you'll find like thousands. Right, here we go. Here's one right here. Right, first name, last name, date of birth, sex, marital status, email, city, address, city, state, zip code, home phone, cell phone, work phone, emergency contact, insurance information, referral and adjunctive care, health concerns or symptoms, when did your chief problem of illness begin, etc., 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 etc. Okay, you'll find lots of these. So if you can't find it in your target language, you can definitely find them in English. No doubt about that. You can find them in English. Okay, so let's share my screen one more time. Okay. And then we have our extra notes section. All right, next part, we're gonna wrap up the tourism section so that in the next video, we can start the next portion of this level 4. Now let's talk about bargaining. Now, bargaining, depending on the language you're learning, may or may not be something that's important. For example, if you're learning English and you're coming to Canada, I mean, bargaining is not the most important thing in the world. If you're learning Hindi and you're going to India, you better know how to bargain. Like you have to be able to do this. So vocabulary, book a lesson with your tutor or speaking partner and label the pictures below together in your target language. As always, you're welcome to use a dictionary or online translators. Just make sure you confirm with the native speaker or advanced speaker, like, hey, confirm with them, like, did I find the right translations? Okay. So you want to know how to say how much is blah, 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 blah. You want to ask how much something costs. You want to know how to say cheap or maybe affordable. Even cheaper might be a good idea. That's too much. Can you do? Now, when I say can you do, I mean, like, for example, the person in front of you says $100 and you're like, ooh, that's too much. Can you do $50? Right? Can you reduce it to $50? That's what you're looking to say here. I would like, and then of course, receipt. I couldn't think of too many words. There's probably more bargaining vocabulary, but these are some of the main ones I could think of. There might be more. As you do your role plays and the activities, you might stumble into more words. and as in every unit, right? Every unit, you're going to stumble into so many more words and learn so much more than the initial vocab points I give you. There's no writing practice for this unit, but I will give you a small tip when you're traveling. If you're going to be bargaining and you're not confident in your fluency and your ability to do so, I recommend you carry a small notebook with you. And that way, what you can do is when you see the price of something and it's like $5.99 and it's way too expensive, you can write down and say like $3.99 and you can like show the price, and that way you can bargain on paper. When I was in Brazil, I was about maybe no, it can't be 14, 16 years old, maybe 17. I was a teenager. I was in Brazil as a teenager, and I spoke very limited Portuguese, very, very broken. And I spoke a little bit of Spanish, which would kind of help, but I didn't really speak Spanish. And when I would go to markets, that's what the salespeople would actually do. They would have paper, and that's how we would bargain. Other places I've been to, they don't do that. So it's a good idea for you to bring that piece of paper, and you can bargain using paper. So it's not really an assignment, but just a quick little hack that has to do with writing. Right? Didn't change pages. There we go. So the role play you're going to do is you're going to book a time with your tutor or speaking partner and role play the following scenario. You want to purchase something, okay? And your language partner or your tutor is going to act as a salesperson. You ask what the price is, and then you're going to try haggling to get the best deal possible. Now, you're going to watch a couple of videos on how to haggle. So you find one, probably 2 videos is better. Watch 2 videos in your target language that talk about how to haggle or bargain, and get the best deal when you're shopping. So you might, I'll show you a demo as always. You might search something like, go to YouTube. Whoops. You search how to bargain. Of course, search this in your target language, not in English, and you'll find videos. Now, in a language such as like, certain languages might be harder to find. Actually, well, yeah, certain languages it may be harder to find videos for, right? You might have a harder time, but do what you can. Hopefully you can find at least 1 or 2. If you don't know how to say how to bargain in your target language, simply ask your tutor, ask your language exchange partner. In a pinch, use a translator such as deepl.com, right? Like let's say you're learning, I don't know, like Czech or Danish, how to bargain. Right, there we go. Copy it, paste it, see what pops up. I mean, I don't speak Danish at all, so I don't even know where to start with these videos, but some of these seem practical enough. They seem like they're bargaining videos. I have no idea. I can't read Danish, but how to shift a road bike, that is definitely not bargaining. But anyway, right, you can try that, and that also might work in a pinch. Okay, let's share my screen back to what do you call it, the course. As always, like write down some of your new words, like listen carefully, ask your tutor for help when need be, like try to learn something from it. Don't just watch it passively. That's not really what you're trying to do here. How to haggle blog posts. You're going to do the same thing. Back here, you went on YouTube and you searched how to haggle, right? And you watched some videos. Do the same thing on Google and find 3 or more blog posts or articles on that topic, and read some articles or blog posts within your target language with useful tips on how to bargain. Right? Use a dictionary when needed if you don't know how to say something, to look up some words and phrases. Take some notes while you're reading. Use your language partner or your tutor for help if there's any tricky sections you don't quite understand what's being said. These are all things that you should be doing as you read these blog posts. And then there's our extra notes section. And now we get to transition. We'll do this in the next video, but we get to transition to something I'm particularly excited about, which is TV and movies. Now you're going to learn about, we're going to rely quite heavily on TV and movies, and that's going to be the tool we use to learn. So I'll give you a quick little preview. We have TV and movies, general vocabulary, right? We have some general activities. So there's a whole bunch here, but then we're going to get more specific. We're going to talk about each common genres, sci-fi and fantasy, action and adventure, horror, That's the last one. Yeah, and then we get to some news. We get something a little bit different. So I picked out horror, action adventure, sci-fi, and fantasy. I didn't really do romance or drama or comedy because a lot of those movies tend to use a lot of pretty day-to-day language for the most part. And so like there's nothing really special about those. It's pretty high frequency vocabulary for the most part, but sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and action adventure, there you start to get some vocabulary topics that you wouldn't use on a day-to-day basis, but let me stop my screen share. All native speakers, they know those words. Like how often do you say, for example, like curse? Like that guy is cursed. We don't say that very often, but when you're watching fantasy, like they say that all the time. Or how often do we say, I'm reading Harry Potter in Mandarin right now. How often am I going to say something like magic wand? Like never, basically never. But in Harry Potter, wand is on every 20 pages. You see the word wand somewhere, right? And so it's an important word to know for that genre. And so I think that's why I picked those particular genres for this unit here. So, okay, well, as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate donations. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but I do appreciate donations. You can go to let's go to my website. You're probably watching this on my website as it is, azrenthelanguagenerd.com. Simply go there. There's a little button in the menu that says donate. You can click donate there, and I always accept donations and really appreciate them. Same goes if you'd like to actually work with myself or someone on my team. You can do that directly through my website. We've got private lessons, some small group lessons for people, and we can really expedite your language learning process. So always happy to work with new students. So yeah, have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.